What's up, everyone? Thank you for tuning into another video. This is going to be a tour and test drive of my roommate's 2014 Mazda 6. I'm going to do a quick walk around of it, and then I'm going to go take it out and drive it. So, I appreciate you tuning in. Let's go ahead and get started. Does have keyless entry and push button start. It's got black and cream leather interior. See, it's got 117,214 miles on it. Very nice. It's got a 6-speed automatic transmission. I think. Pretty sure it's 6 speeds. With the manual shiftability, so you can command it. You can tell what gear to be in. You've got your radio info, the track buttons, volume info, and hands-free telephone and steering wheel. Cruise control on this side. Got your climate control, which is simple enough to use. Fan speed in the middle, and temperature on the left and right. It is dual zone. And pushing the middle for off. And you've also got this screen here, which you can control with this little wheel in the center console. Simple enough to use. Turn that off for now. Got a really nice headliner. I actually owned a 2003 Mazda 6, and the headliner in that was all messed up. Got your dome light up here, on off door, sunglasses, map lights, got a visor, just normal visor. It is lit. Got the other visor and a bunch of garage door openers. Glove box, got a lot of junk. I'm not really sure what this is. Maybe this is educated Mazda 6 owners. Tell me what this blank cover is for. There we go. And the door panel, just your normal door panel. You got your door handle, your lock, and then you got your power mirrors, power locks, and window lockout, and then your power windows. And the entire door panel is covered in nice and soft touch material. The door uppers are nice and soft, and then you have some nice stitched leather, stitched leather insert on the door, and more soft touch leather on the door armrest. And then you have some aluminum trim, which is probably just plastic coated in aluminum, but it feels nice. And on this row of buttons here, you got traction control, your TPMS reset, and BSM off. I'm not really sure what that is. I don't know, maybe it's stability control. And you got a nice little cubby here with some chapstick in it. And here you've got your trunk release and your fuel door and hood release. I'll go ahead and pull this. And let's go ahead and check out the engine. The engine in this car is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. Dual red cam, probably. It makes 184 horsepower and 185 foot-pounds of torque, I believe. Runs very well. Got a nice little heat shield right there for exhaust is right back there. Yeah. It'd be an engine. Reasonably solid hood closing action. You do have the same very nice cream leather interior back as well. Also the same nice door panel treatment. Backseat room is modest. I'm 6'2", and this is with the seat all the way back because my roommate's 6'4", and it can't really contain my knees. Even with the cutout, my knees are in the back of the seat. But if the driver is not as tall, then you'll be fine. The seats themselves are very comfortable. It's a nice view of the dash. I personally think that this is a really pretty interior, and the materials in it are very nice. You have a nice fold down center armrest with 2 cup holders. There is no trunk pass through, but the seats do fold. And you have rear dome lights here as well. They are not map lights, unfortunately. And grab handles on either side. And you do have dual exhausts, which is nice. I like dual exhausts. And in the trunk is actually quite spacious in this car. Right now it's housing a bunch of jackets, some crap, a battery jumper, and a ratchet strap. But it is quite useful, and the seats fold down via these handles here. It is a 60-40 split. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get my camera ready, and we will take this thing out on the road. I will see you in just a minute. All right, we are driving the Mazda 6. This is not the first time that I've driven this car. I've actually driven this thing quite a bit. So, unfortunately, this will not be first driving impressions. But I can tell you what this car is like. And short answer is this car is actually very nice to drive. The engine's got good power, especially low in the rev range. The red line is only at 6,000 RPM, so it's not an exceptionally revvy engine. But the power band is very useful for daily driving, and it is very quiet in here, especially on the highway. The drag coefficient is only 0.26, which is very low. So there's very little wind rush on the highway, and it gets very good fuel economy. And the transmission is reasonably smooth. It is slushy, but it is smooth. It's not quick, but it is a torque converter auto, so it's not going to be the fastest thing on the planet. The suspension is reasonably firm. It's definitely a lot more firm than my Accord, but my Accord has over 100,000 more miles on it, and this thing's in really good shape. It's not worn out like my Accord is. Especially going over the speed humps in my neighborhood, my Accord is a lot more forgiving over those bumps than this is. As you can hear, it is quiet in here. I've got the AC on, it works well. The AC doesn't put a massive drag on the engine, cause it to go from 184 horsepower to 7 horsepower like it does in my Accord. And these seats are very comfortable. I could go for a long time on the highway in this car in these seats. They are delightful. The only comfort issue I am having at the moment is that my roommate is 6'4", so he has the seat all the way back and all the way down on the height. And if I were like actually driving this thing long term, I would move the seat forward and up. But I don't want him to have to readjust the seat when I get out of it, because that bothers me when I have to readjust my seat when people get out, when other people drive my car. You're going to be pulling a slight hill. I can demonstrate that this thing does indeed have good power. And up the hill we go. Transmission shifts really smooth. And unlike my Accord, there is no drama up the hill. No rattling. The engine's reasonably quiet. I keep comparing this to my Accord, even though it's not really a fair comparison, because this thing's 14 years newer and 100,000 miles younger. I have a deep appreciation for this car. I like it very much. You can get these with stick shifts, and it is on the short list of things that will replace my Accord. I am a fan of this car. It is very comfortable. It's exceptionally well built. Materials in here are very nice. It has been very reliable. My roommate has had very, very few issues with it. He's had some minor issues like a battery, and we had to change the spark plugs and minor things like that. And then his mom owned it before him, and she had no issues with it either. So it has proven itself to be able to hold up. The one thing that bothers me about this car is the gauge cluster is slightly irritating. You got your tach on the left, speedo in the middle, and driver info on the right, and you got your fuel gauge, which is just like a bar display at the bottom. And I would like it. I like actual gauges, so I would rather there be an actual fuel gauge and a temperature gauge as well. The lack of a temperature gauge bothers the hell out of me. Good timing. The light just turned green. They're doing something on this road. It's going to be closed soon. Your turn signal and wiper stalks are normal. Got your headlights. They are automatic headlights, but it doesn't say auto on the stock. So I don't know why it doesn't say auto on the stock, but they are automatic headlights. And then your wipers are normal. Pull the stock down. And then you got your intermitted on a little wheel on the stock. And one thing I like about this wiper stock is that the intermittent says slow and fast, which leaves no question as to which end of the stock corresponds to how fast or slow the wipers are going to go. And we're behind an RV, which is annoying because I want to go reasonably quick around these turns. This actually does handle rather well. The suspension is nice and firm, which works in your favor when you're going around corners because there's very little body roll. And the steering is reasonably precise. Jesus. Freaking handle's on. The steering is reasonably precise. It's weighted rather well. There's very little on center play. And it's nice and direct. This thing does have fairly wide tires on it, so the fact that it handles well isn't that surprising. Gonna be making a right at this light that's coming up here, and after we do that, I will floor it. Hopefully I'm not stuck behind this RV. Hopefully he's making a left. Yes, lovely. Alright, and full throttle. Yeah, very, very acceptable power. The power band is nice and broad. It's strong all the way to redline. If any of you know about the real long-term reliability of these 2.5 liter 4-cylinders, be sure to let me know, because I'm not sure. I mean, this thing doesn't have that many miles on it. It's not that old, even though it is holding up. And my roommate does take exceptionally good care of this car. Any car can be ruined at 117,000 miles, but this thing is exceptionally well kept up. But that is going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you for tuning in. I will have more videos like this to come. And if you liked what you saw here, feel free to subscribe. My goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, even though I'm running out of the year, even though it's only April. But I will catch you next time in the next car. Take care, everyone.